Yes.
Hi, Veronica. Can you hear me?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good. Just want to make sound is okay.
Yep, that sounds good. I love your background.
Thanks.
Let me
Where
enable
is
it
that?
here.
Let's see.
It is, oh, this one. Is this Mount Diablo? I can't remember which one this one is. At the MMANC, it's a Municipal Managers Association. They had a bunch of backgrounds from their convention, their conference that they provided. So this is one of them. Here's a, I can show, there's a couple I like. Oops, put myself off. I like this one, of course. Half Dome.
Half Dome.
I was gonna do a fall one, but this will work. It's kind of calming. Okay, let me see if I can get my screen share to work. Hey, Keith. So this is all going to be old hat to Keith. He's at the library. He's a frequent user.
Awesome.
Okay.
Very, very cool. So Sarah, where Veronica is starting a book club. We would love your input after this day. Yeah, maybe we can get your involvement too.
Nice. Oh, Isabel Allende. I always love her. She just has great things.
I can't put it down.
We're so excited you are coming to talk to us.
No problem. Sounds like Bruce said there's probably about 8 people, so we'll wait a couple minutes, see who else is going to join us today.
Yeah, we're still early, and people usually dial in a couple minutes later.
Let's see. Interesting. It doesn't let me see the participants when I'm in presentation mode. Oh, here it is. Oh, we have 6 people already. Okay. Good. 7 people. Nice.
Yeah, give them a couple of minutes. It's now 9:58.
Yeah, that's fine. I will. Anybody go to the Tai Chi in the morning?
We did.
I did. I enjoyed it. It was very good.
Oh, good.
Very refreshing.
Now, are you going to be doing it continuously?
Doing the Tai Chi? I'm not certain. That's something you can ask Bruce.
Yeah, we're having another December 16th day.
Okay.
and there may be different activities. And then what we want to do is we want to do it weekly. So this is our first
Nice.
pilot, and look forward to more collaboration, Sarah. I know the library has so much good stuff going on.
We do. I have a number of programs I'll mention to you guys too.
Okay.
And Bruce and I talked about having some of them, the ones that are all the Zoom connected ones, on your platform, so that
that'd be fun.
yeah, so that participants can do that too, because we are happy to have more audience members join us, since size isn't an issue.
Right, for sure.
Anna Carlos has changed since I last saw her.
Anna Carlos is looking different.
Anna,
Anna,
what happened
white
to you?
up top.
So
You transform.
so we've had to go. Anna's computer got broken last week. So she's on mine. I'm on this one. The other one got broken. We were outside. We've now moved inside because AT&T is now fixing a pole right next to where we did our Tai Chi class.
You are allowed to rename yourself too, Bruce, right?
Oh yeah, but you know what? I'm just running around from one to another to another to another.
This is more fun.
It's fun seeing you as Anna anyway.
I know, huh? Well, we're just, I think everybody is tired of seeing Zoom people and would rather see people. And so this is the one thing. It's like, okay, well, we're going to go and try to do this and get it as many as we can. This platform is fantastic. Hopefully it's easy for everybody. Some people I had to tell everybody, you have to sign up for each class and go, oh, look, see,
Wow.
emergency alert. It's a test. So the day doesn't stop. During our last class, we had a delivery from Costco and a delivery from Office City. So we're trying to do all this and juggle this. So things that we're learning. Also, I need a camera apparently on my own computer desktop. So is it 10 o'clock? Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
it's 10 o'clock. So Sarah, we have 10 people on, so I think we can start.
Great. Bruce, did you have anything you wanted to say, or should I just launch into it?
All I want to say is thank you, Sarah, for helping out with this today on our first one. Everybody, there's so many other things that the library is offering during the pandemic. And so hopefully Sarah will be able to share a lot more programs. And like we said earlier, we'll be able to get this all onto the same Travonde web platform. So you'll just be able to wake up in the morning and say, what do I want to do? And you can invite your friend from Minnesota or Florida or from Italy or from Australia and say, hey, I know you're asleep, but wake up and see this class. Again, if any of you have any, if you got any good skills that you would like to teach, or if you know somebody who would be good at this, please let us know. So I always say, without further ado, Sarah, it's all you.
Well, thank you, Bruce. For those who haven't met me before, I am a division manager for the Redwood City Public Library. And what that means is I'm in charge of a lot of things. My division is customer experience. So that includes all the staff that work at the front desk, the collection development team that buys all the materials, including our website and the databases, all that. And what else? And tech services. So all the people that touch all the materials to add the labels and everything like that. Okay. Ooh, let's see if this is going to let me click through.
Do you clean him after you touch him?
Do we clean him after we touch him?
That's a COVID question.
Yeah, so we can talk about that real briefly. So all the materials that come into the library, we quarantine for 4 days. So stuff comes in to our book drops. That's how you return it. We don't actually have you turn it into a staff member. The staff members will all check in all the materials, and then we put them into bins and we let them sit for 4 days. They've done a lot of studies on materials, and that's kind of the rule of thumb that we've gone with. And we haven't had any issues. We've been doing this since the end of May, beginning of June. And so things sitting in the bins, and then we put them back on the shelves or send them out to people that are asking for them. So that's kind of how we're dealing with all the materials. So we're not actually wiping down and cleaning everything because the virus dies on the surfaces. So that's kind of what's going on. But we'll get to that and talk about physical materials. But before we get to that, I wanted to discuss all the variety of things that you actually have at your fingertips from your computer. So you don't actually have to get physical materials either. You can access a whole lot of materials online. So this is kind of the overview of all the things I'm going to touch on. We have ebooks, audiobooks, movies, TV, music, magazines, newspapers. You can learn a language. And then we'll get into how do you actually get physical materials? What are some of the programs we have going on? And then also our homebound program. And then we can ask any questions you might have. So the first thing you would do if you're interested in using materials from the library is you need a library card. And it's really easy to create a card. You would just go to our website, click on the link that says get a card, and you fill out the application. We then email you your library card number if you have an email address, or we send it to you through the mail if you don't have an email address. And then you have a full access card that allows you to check out physical materials as well as electronic materials. And then on our website, on the left-hand link, you can see all these different links. The one I clicked on is ebooks and downloadables. And this is the spot that has a lot of different resources you can use to get ebooks and all those other things I mentioned. So the first two I wanted to talk about, a lot of people are looking for book materials. And so we have two major sources of that. One is called Overdrive, and the app specifically is called Libby. And through it, you download books onto your phone or your iPad or your computer or a tablet. So maybe you have a Kindle, all of those things, you can be able to have books. I personally download them onto my iPhone, and then I can listen to them everywhere I go. It's really useful for me. And I listen to books while I'm gardening, all sorts of things. And from that system, it's similar to a physical collection. We buy a number of titles as a library consortium to allow customers access to those materials, both ebooks as well as audiobooks. And you can get 15 items at any given time. So as soon as you turn stuff in, you can check out more stuff. And then we also have a service called Hoopla. Hoopla is automatic, instantaneous access to everything they have. It's a collection that has millions of items. And you can check out 7 items per month. Part of the reason you can't get as many from this one, it's a pay-per-use model. And so we pay every time you check something out. So just to keep our budget under control, that's why you only have 7 checkouts. The next thing I wanted to mention, so again, movies, TV, and music, Hoopla has all that stuff, but there's also one that we have called Canopy. And this has a lot of really interesting international films, indie films, a variety of different things. If you like the great courses and you want to learn something really interesting, Canopy has those, and you can get 10 checkouts of videos per month. And again, those are instant access titles as well. Then we have a platform called RB Digital, which actually is going to be incorporated with our Overdrive Libby app soon. And this has access to, I think, about 3,000 different magazines. And you actually download the magazine onto your tablet or iPhone, whatever you prefer to read it, your computer. And then you just flip through the pages like you're looking at a regular magazine. It's really cool. Pretty much most magazines you can think of are in this collection. Let's see. The other thing that we have access through from the California State Library is New York Times Online. And so the Peninsula Library System as a whole, the Redwood City is part of that. We have 1,000 passes per day. And so so that means 1,000 people can access it on a daily basis, and you get a 24-hour pass that day. So each day you want to log in, you create a username, you log in, you get a pass for the day, right? So it's kind of neat. That way you don't hit that paywall when you're trying to click on an article and it says you've reached your limit, right? This allows you access to everything. Okay, another one we have is called Pronunciator. This is a way you can learn a language, and it has 163 languages that are currently available. You select the language you're starting with, English, Spanish, French, German, and then you pick the language you want to learn. So when I went to Japan, I learned a lot of phrases here, and there's daily lessons you could do that are short mini lessons. You can do a course, you can do live sessions with an instructor, and all of this is available for free for you.
So desu ka?
Well, I don't know. Unfortunately, my Japanese was not retained very well, but my brother would know it because he speaks fluent Japanese. All right, then, so moving on to physical things, if you want to be able to get books and movies and anything we have in our physical collection, what you do is you go to our catalog, you request those items, you select the library you want to pick it up at, and then as soon as it's available, you'd get an email that says it's available to book an appointment. You book an appointment, you come during that time period, we give you a bag of materials. So it's very easy. We've been doing this since June. We make it so that we're protected, you're protected, everybody has to wear masks. So we're trying to create as safe an experience as possible. Starting November 30th, we're going to start having materials available at Fair Oaks, Redwood Shores, and Shaberg Library. And you can kind of see we have specific dates for this.
I'll use this. I don't want to go on that. Okay.
So that's what's going on for the branches. So we had been just doing it downtown just because we had limited staff available in the building, but we've been able to bring more staff back. So that's why we've been able to expand. Okay, and then a few classes that we have coming up. Beyond Death sounds kind of funny, but what this is, it's a Dr. Matthew Rader. He talks about near-death experiences and how you can connect with that inner light that people note. So it's all about meditation as medication. And so it's going to be an interesting kind of seminar. Then December 5th, that's a Saturday, we have our Human Library. If you haven't heard of this, basically it's an opportunity to have a conversation with someone you may not have had a conversation with. Maybe someone who's Muslim or a police officer or someone who's transgender, all sorts of different people that you may not see in your regular day-to-day lives. Let's see, this month we have someone who's autistic, we have someone who's undocumented, we have a recovering alcoholic, a civil rights activist. And so you book these conversations to have a one-on-one conversation with people and just ask them questions and get to know your fellow community members. Phase 2 careers. This is a group that does presentations for us, and it's intended for an older audience because they help people that are over, I think it's over 50, to get back into the workforce if they're interested. And so this one is focusing on high-tech careers. Then December 15th, they're going to be making holiday greeting cards. And so it'll be, we have kits where you come to the library, pick up the kit, and then there's an online class later that day where you can interact and see how they're putting together the cards and things like that. So we do a couple of those kind of pick up the kit, do the activity at home. That way it's still allowing people to have the materials, but keeping it as safe as possible. And then in January, we have a guitarist who's going to come and play for us. So that'll be a live concert. And then later in the month, they're going to make indoor terrarium, those in the 3-inch hanging globes. So again, you'd come pick up the supplies and then make it at home with instructions on how to do it. So that's kind of some of the programs we have coming up specifically for adults.
Are those free of charge?
All free. Yep, all library programs are free. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is our Homebound program. This is a program in which people that have limited mobility or unable to leave their house for whatever reason, they just let our staff member, Fiona, know about this. And then we have volunteers that will bring you materials. So you can ask for specific items, or you could just say, I love romance books. I just want a variety of romance books. The volunteer brings them to your house. Then you keep them and you read them for as long as you need, and then they get returned for you. So that's kind of a great way to give those materials to people that might not be able to come to the library to get them. So that is all the things I wanted to cover, but I'm sure there's lots of questions, and I'm happy to answer anything you guys might have.
Sarah, you talked very quickly, but the one thing that I didn't get is what is very slowly the address, your online address.
Sure, let's go back to the web page. So it's up here at the
What's
very
your web
top.
page address?
You can type in https://www.redwoodcity.org. So that will bring you, if you just type in that, it'll bring you to the cities page. And from there, you can get to any of the city departments, including the Veteran Memorial Senior Center or the library or Parks and Rec, et cetera. But if you want the full one, I can also have Bruce email it to you guys to make it easy. I often just tell people I'm training about our website to just go to Google and type in Redwood City Library, and you just click on the link and that'll take you directly there as
Now,
well.
do we have to be citizens of Redwood City, or can we be San Mateo County, or what?
Yeah, so depending on where you live, that provides different access. Let's say you live in San Carlos, then you would have a you'd have a card for San Mateo County, and that gives you access to all the stuff we have. They just have different caps on things. And then let's say you live out of state. I don't know if we give out of state cards, but we do give cards to people that live out of San Mateo County. So if you lived in Santa Clara County, you would get a Redwood City card. So California, all libraries in California, you can get a card for any of those libraries. For example, I have one for San Francisco because they have a really good ebook collection. So I use their materials as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hey, Sarah, I have a question. I wanted to see if we can make this presentation available for the attendees here, if we can email it to them in case they didn't see
Sure.
all the screenshots. Okay, so
I'm happy to send it. Yep.
okay, great. I'll work with you so we can send it to attendees. Thank you so much.
Yeah. What else? I can go over anything else more in detail. I just, Bruce mentioned he thought you guys would have more questions about specifics that you might want to talk about instead.
What happens if you turn in a library book late? Is there still?
Oh, well, so our library system actually has gotten rid of fines. So you, first, there's all the materials you have. If nobody else is requesting those materials, then they get renewed for another 3 weeks. And that happens up to 6 times. So you could have an item for what, 3 times 6, 18 weeks, right? And then if you don't turn it in, there's no late fees, but eventually, if we assume it's never coming back, then you would get charged for the item. So you just need to get it back. Jane, I think you had a question.
Yes, I've been using your system to check out ebooks, and I gather that the place that I went that you showed gives all those other like Hoopla, Canopy. I haven't tried those. I didn't even know what they were.
Sure.
But one thing I have noticed on ebooks, depending on what you want, there's a big wait list on some of them.
Yeah, so that's the advantage of Hoopla, because Hoopla allows instant access to their entire collection and there's no wait list. So it's a balance for us between doing that pay-per-use model, just because we have limited funds, versus buying copies of books. So I totally understand the frustration of wait lists. What I sometimes do when I'm using the Overdrive app, for example, through Libby, is I specify when I'm looking for titles that I only want things that are available now. And I can request items I want to wait for, but for ones I just need a good book because I'm driving down to Southern California, I just pick the ones I want. That way I don't have to see everything that I'm going to have to wait for. So I totally understand that frustration.
Yeah, I have been reading about Ansel Adams and Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, and I think they must be very popular books right now because they've all had some sort of weight limits on them, although I eventually got all of them.
That's good. Well, and definitely check out Hoopla, see if there's some other titles.
Okay.
The
I'll
other
try.
thing I like is they're different collections. There's a little bit of overlap, but in general, they're very different. So you have a wider variety of items to access to.
And so at some point, I think I understood, I have a number, but at some point I'm going to have to actually go to the library and get a physical card.
So do you have a number that's a 2904145?
That's-
That is a fully accessed card. Someday after COVID's ended, then maybe we want to verify your address. But for now, we're just trusting people that you say you live here. We're giving you a full card, and you actually, with that card, can be able to get physical materials as well, not just electronic materials.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Anybody else? Let's see. Oh, looks like Bruce has another question, and then Barbara.
Did you, not to put you on the spot, but did you go over any of the numbers that you guys did? I had to step away for a minute, about how many the drops that you guys are doing that we share all the time per week?
Did I talk about how many appointments and things?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay.
So right now, before we've opened up the branches, we have 600 appointments per week. So it's definitely meeting the demand. We don't have anybody that tells us they can't make an appointment to pick up material, but soon we'll have more than that when we expand to the branches, because there'll be the 2 days at each of the branches so that people can pick up materials too. And that's just being able to come in to get materials. But then I don't know if there's other numbers you were thinking of, Bruce.
No, just those, just like that.
Yeah. Well, so there's also, I could talk about all sorts of things the libraries does, but I was focusing this conversation more on like our materials and what we have access to. But is there any other questions about the programs where you pick up stuff or anything like that?
Help me understand the audio books. Do you quote, check them out, unquote? And did they get delivered to you, or can you just simply sign on and start listening? How does that work?
Yeah, so for the audiobooks, there's 2 ways you could do it. So if you have an app on your device, so if you've downloaded the app, you can download the book onto your device so that you don't need to be connected to the internet to be able to listen to it anywhere. So that's, I think, the best way. But you also, if you're doing it on a computer, you can do it through the browser. And so it doesn't actually download to your device. You have that option, but I find it easier to be able to just download it. And then I don't have to worry about whether I'm using my data when I'm not connected to just the internet that I have at home, the Wi-Fi.
So when you're finished with the download, do you have to return it to the library?
And so if you wait till the end of that 3 weeks is up, it'll automatically be returned. Or if you finish it early, you have the option to click on manage your loan and you can return it early as well. So you have those 2 options.
Sarah and everyone, Travonde is hosting a technology class for people who have more technology questions. And would you be willing to like set up like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just like a Zoom thing like today, and go over how to download, how to use these apps that you're mentioning?
Sure, and I'm happy to walk people through how do you access everything too. I
Great.
didn't go into that today, but I'm happy to, we can click through it and show you, here's where you change this, for example.
Let me know when that's going to happen. I want to hear that one.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And we have our staff too that are always happy to help people understand how to navigate. Barbara, did you still have a question?
I do, and it follows this. Do you have someone, or would you do a program for a service club? There's like 40 women. Can we schedule someone at the library that would give us your programs and all, like a speaker program?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. I can send you my contact information. If I'm not available, I'll probably have Fiona. She's one of my staff. So I can have her lead your group through whatever you're interested in learning.
It would be sometimes, in January, February, or then. That would be great. Thank you.
Is that the Women's League?
The Peninsula Hills Women's Club.
Oh, wonderful.
In fact, Yolanda's on, we're both members, but we're always looking for speakers and, with community interest. And so I think, it would be great if we could have you speak with us.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Yeah, thanks.
And Sarah, you could either set that up through the library or we could set it up through Travonde too, either way.
Okay.
Yeah, the great thing about libraries, and even if you don't live in California, your local library probably has very similar services to this. I don't know if we have anybody today that's from out of state.
I live in Princeton, New Jersey, and
Awesome.
and we have Hoopla and Liddy. And then there's something else that I'm able to use, and I think I haven't used it in a while, and I don't know what it's called, but yeah, there's 3 things that Princeton uses.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, we have some other ebook stuff too, but these are the main ones I think for most popular reading. People that want more specialized, like scientific journals, there's stuff in there. There's all sorts of different variety of things, but this is in general what most people like.
Right. Yeah. So your arts and crafts classes, what kind of projects do you have going on? or plan?
Oh, they've done a variety of things. They've had instructors that teach painting, and so that you come home with a kit and then they lead the class. They've done different these planter hanging baskets. So they taught them how to knot it so that you can have this really pretty hanging basket. So there's a variety. We have a pretty creative team that comes up with programs. The other thing that we've started doing is a seed library. So our residents that are interested in growing things, they have different seeds that they put out, and then they've been mailing those to the participants so that they can be able to grow things as well. So yeah, we're trying to find ways to pivot to put some of our programs that we typically have in person available for the community online.
That is great.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things about the library is we have a beehive, and our friends of the library just had, I think they've sold out at this point, but they sell the honey as a fundraiser, and that funds programming for the library.
That is awesome.
How would you find out about things that are specifically for craft type things?
Yeah, so my suggestion, if you just want to find out what's going on at the library, I don't know if we would put these ones on the Travonde app because you have to come and pick up stuff in addition to doing the class. There's on our website, and I can let me just share my screen, and I will go. Let's see, I don't want that one. I'll go to here, and I'll show you where you'd look. So you'd go to our website, and as I said, this is, I think, faster. It's just using Google, and I just click on it. And you'd go down to the events page, and this brings up our calendar. You can get rid of all of the kids stuff by, well, I guess right now we just have all the stuff that's online. There's a lot of kids programs, or if you have grandchildren, that they have amazing stories, times and things and programs they do. They also do pick up and take home activities. So this kind of shows you what's going on. A lot of it's kids stuff, but here's an author that they had this month, and you just click on the link.
Yeah.
And then from here, it tells you what is the activity, and then you just click on to register, and they will then send you the Google link, just like you do through Travonde. And this is really just managed by our programming staff. So let's see what other art stuff. I can't remember what they did this month. Online programs, Lena. The other way you could find out about what programs are going on in the library is we have a monthly newsletter. And so that would come to your email. And if you scroll down it has all the information about what programs are going on that month. And you can click on the link there to be able to register directly too. So that might also be an easier way rather than having to go to the calendar and find stuff too. So if you wanted to subscribe to our newsletter, you would just go to the main page, and do you see how it says e-news right here? So you'd click on that link and just enter in your email address, and then you'd get the newsletter sent to you. And that comes, I think it's only once a month, and it has all the various programs that are going on.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Hey, Sarah, maybe after this call, we can talk about how we can be more tailored for the older audience.
Sure.
Yeah. We can highlight, even feature some of the arts and craft. I think the action cover is very, very interesting, that they can just like go to the featured and to click on it.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that you have access to. The other thing we did is under this COVID-19 services, we tried to make it easy for you to find things you specifically want right away. So right here's the adult stuff. So it looks like they're pulling all the things in that's coming up for the rest of November. So this just pulls from our events calendar. So this might be a faster way for you to be able to find it. But then they also added in different programs that happened, miniature gardening during our gardening series. I guess it's taking me to a list of books. They had some different master gardeners, and I think actually Bruce works with these similar people. And so you came and got some supplies from the library, and then they taught you how to plant a succulent and how do you care for it and that type of thing. So yeah, we tried to do a variety of those hands-on versus just Zoom, just so that you have a little bit more interaction than just seeing people on a screen.
Feel-good documentaries. That sounds interesting.
Mhm. Yeah. There was a really great presentation we had. I think it was a film about breast cancer, and then there was a panel of breast cancer survivors, and they had a whole discussion around that. So our staff tries to come up with things of interest to the community. Sometimes it's just for fun, sometimes it's a little deeper.
Mhm.
Great.
Any other thoughts?
I just wanted to mention that the things that are on your events calendar, I will make sure that we will have the links for you to find it on Travonde website to just minimize the confusion, and then we
Sure.
could work together in the future to better align that process.
Yeah, we'd love for your
Great.
participants to
Great.
be able to
Great.
come
Thank you.
join us.
Yay.
Are you saying yay about Tina joining us?
No, just everything. Yay. Next month for this, we will be having UC Master Gardeners. They will be doing a class. And it sounds like people are interested in arts and crafts or things like that. We have a lot of arts and crafts teachers here too. We're just trying to figure out how, if we did a specific craft class, how you would it be something where we sent you the materials, or would you, that's the issue with the arts and crafts right now. So
yeah, it's been very popular, those take-home kits, Bruce. If you want to talk to Fiona or Roz, they can tell you how they've managed it. But some of the programs, they have like 100 people that want to attend, and so they make up 100 kits of supplies, and then you get to come pick it up and go home. And maybe, Bruce, you're able to do it through your food distribution too, and be able to give people stuff that way too.
Yep. So this is the best part about today, is this is all for learning for everybody. We're trying to get this networked out so we can get other senior centers up and down the peninsula involved, other agencies. We are talking with, since here at the senior center, we also have a childcare for adults with autism and Down syndrome with special needs. So we're reaching out, and we're going to try to for that as well. So this is why the first one of these were just, our first focus was to get the lunches and get people fed. And then this is where we're going with today. So I think that's our time, 10:30.
And I put my email in the chat if anybody wants to be able to contact me as well.
Excellent.
Thank you,
So
Sarah. Thank you so
thanks,
much.
Sarah. Thank you, Redwood City Library.
Good job, Sarah.
Excellent
Thank you.
job.
You guys are the greatest.
Thanks.
We appreciate you.
Next class is an improv class.
Ooh.
About that. So I've watched Corinne before do her improv group, and they're really cool. So if you like improv, please stay tuned to that. Once again, Sarah, thank you. Thank you, Redwood City Public Library, best library. And we know it's true. So
We are pretty awesome. Have a good day, everybody.
all right, bye.
Take care.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Bruce.
See ya.